Are you already drunk? That's weird.
It's because I didn't eat.
He's probably still baked after yesterday.
That's a distinct possibility. I had, oh, good. My wife's eating into the microphone. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I didn't know we were actually recording.
Oh, yeah, no, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Sorry.
Welcome back to the Canuckonomicon holiday special.
Okay, I'm not at all emotionally prepared yet.
This is Benjamin Jr. Wandio here with Todd Dirty Clad Wandio
Salutations.
and my beautiful wife,
Hello.
Laura Pixie Wandio.
Don't worry, this time we are talking about French people, but only delightfully.
No child molestation.
There will be
Fantastic.
0 child molestation.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God.
So, welcome to the Canuckonomicon. And I know what you're thinking. Oh no, that woman is back and she's going to tell us about more cults. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about religion this time. I'm going to talk about the other thing you should talk about at the holidays. I'm going to talk about politics. This is the Canuckonomicon. I'm Pixie, also called Laura Wandio. My husband, Ben Wandio, is on the couch because he had too much rum. And this is Todd Wandio, my father-in-law.
Hello. Salutations.
So, I know I said we're going to talk about politics, but we're going to start, it's going to be a little circuitous, but just buckle up. Canadian humor is distinctive, partly because it's spelled Humor. Our multicultural heritage has resulted in a unique comedic style. We're not as crass as the Americans, but we're not as dry as the Brits either. We love sarcasm, irony, parody, and satire. We will poke fun at anyone, and have never been afraid to laugh at our elected officials, and even at our queen. We have a long tradition of political satire and have created many long-running political satire programs. Some of the most popular English language programs include Royal Canadian Air Force, which I grew up on, The Rick Mercer Report, This Hour Has 22 Minutes, where I get my news from, and newcomer, The Beaverton, which is The Onion for Canadians. Our love of political satire extends beyond radio and television and into the actual political process. We have an entire political party dedicated to making fun of our political system. Yes, dear listeners, today we're talking about the Rhinoceros Party. In 1963, Jacques Ferrand registered Le Parti Rhinoceros, or Rhinoceros Party in English, for those of you who didn't have to take French as a second language, as a political party, with our federal political party specifically. They were founded on a primal promise, quote, a promise to keep none of our promises. And unlike almost every other Canadian politician, they seem to have kept this promise. The Rhinos claim to be spiritual descendants of Cacareco, a rhinoceros in Sao Paulo, Brazil, who was elected to Sao Paulo's city council in 1958.
That really happened.
It did. I don't know if he actually served on the city council, but people voted for him. I mean, there's a city in like
Who
Minnesota.
cleans up the poop?
Yeah, that's the point. There's a town in Minnesota that's had a dog for a mayor for a very long time. And in Alaska, there's a place that has a cat for a mayor.
You're kidding. That's insidious.
You're kidding.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I'll leave now. The Rhinos named Cornelius I as their party leader. Cornelius was a rhino at Granby Zoo, east of Montreal. It's not clear if he volunteered for the position or if he was appointed against his will. They believed that rhinos were an ideal political symbol, as politicians are, by nature, thick-skinned, slow-moving, dim-witted, can move fast as hell when in danger, and have large hairy horns growing out of the middle of their faces. I mean, the Americans have an elephant and a donkey.
As their
symbols.
Symbols, yes.
Which are great.
The rhinoceros is way more fearsome.
It's, yeah. I mean, hippos too. Hippos will mess you up.
Yeah, hippos and rhinos. That's what should be.
That'd be
the two.
great.
A hippo can eat a man in one bite.
Oh yeah. They'd be like strong beliefs on justice and like
Yeah.
criminal justice. Tough on crime. The Rhino Party does have an official platform, but individual candidates are also given a lot of freedom and can add to the platform with their own ideas and slogans. Brian Gold described the party platform as 2 feet high and made of wood. Quote, "My platform is the one I'm standing on."
I like it.
There's actually an interview with, I forget which Rhino candidate it was, on the CBC in like the early 80s with one of those really stiff, like proper old
Super
time
serious
newscasters.
interviewers.
And it's on YouTube. Just look it up. It's spectacular. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of Canadian history.
If you can find it, send me the link and we'll put it
Oh, well,
up
that's
on
good.
the-
I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Additionally, some rhinoceros members identify as Marxist-Leninists, not communists, but they're referencing Groucho Marx and John Lennon, which I love. We do have a Communist Party in Canada. They've never been elected.
No.
We also, can I just say, I learned in 2019, 852 people voted for the Marijuana Party. This is after marijuana was illegal. I learned this during my research, and it is incredible.
I know pot's legal and everything, man, but I like to stand by my people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they voted for that, because literally the only platform for the marijuana party was make pot
Legalize
legal.
pot, yeah, which they did.
Way to go, you 852 people.
Keep making it legal.
While the Rhinos have never had a candidate elected to Parliament, they did declare victory after one election. They based this on the belief that all politicians were thick-skinned, short-sighted, mean-tempered rhinos, whether they knew it or not. Unfortunately, this victory was not recognized by Canada, and really it was a miscarriage of justice. Some notable candidates that have run for the Rhinoceros Party include Ted Sharp, who went by the nickname Not Too, so Ted Not Too Sharp, who ran against a woman named Flora MacDonald. He had a slogan called Fauna, Not Flora. He took a stand against abortion, promising, if elected, to never have an abortion, and capital punishment, saying, "If it was good enough for my grandfather, then it's good enough for me." He also proposed towing Antarctica to the Arctic Circle. Quote, "Once we have Antarctica, we'll control all the world's cold. If another Cold War starts, we'll be unbeatable." We would also have penguins in Canada, which would be beautiful, and I would love it so much. It would be Did you look up on YouTube penguins dressed as Santa Claus? Because the Japanese do that in their zoos, and it's beautiful.
Those Japanese are monsters.
The
to
Japanese
see
are
animals.
experts on cute animals.
They are, but they're
experts.
monsters in how they treat them.
Safe-sex activist Penny Hoare, spelled Hoar, and that was her actual legal name. She didn't change
my.
it. Handed out condoms and ran under the slogan, "Politicians screw you, protect yourself." There was a candidate named Alfred the Alien who was from outer space. Candidate John Turner ran in 1988 against Liberal Party leader John Turner. The Rhino Turner received 760 votes. It's not clear if those were on purpose votes or by accident votes. In a nod to Turner, the most recent election, the Rhinos selected Maxime Bernier to run in Beauce, Quebec, against People's Party of Canada leader and all-round crazy person, Maxime Bernier.
Mm-hmm.
The Rhinos candidate slogan translated to, "Not sure? Vote for both." Neither Maxime won, which is probably for the best. There was a candidate named Le Marquis de Marmalade, which is, just name yourself after jam. It's a good idea.
Yeah, people vote just because of that.
Yep. Actually, I forgot to write this, but for the longest time, the Rhino candidate in my riding was Bun Bun LaRue, an actual bunny rabbit. I didn't know they were a rabbit at first, and I thought it was a dumb name, but then I was informed, no, they're a rabbit. Michel Rivard took advantage of free TV airtime being offered to political parties and stated, quote, "I have but two things to say to you. Celery and sidewalk. Thank you. Good night." Michel Rivard might be the guy I'm thinking of on YouTube. I'm not sure. But like I said, I'll look it up and get it to you because it's very good. A British Columbia splinter group, because all political groups splinter in Canada.
Yes.
So there's a splinter group in British Columbia, proposed running a professional dominatrix for party whip. For the non-Canadians, or for the Canadians who fell asleep in social studies, party whip is the official who ensures that MPs follow party platform and just generally behave themselves. They also proposed merging with the Progressive Conservative Party so as to not split the silly vote. Sonia Chatouille-Cote, Chatouille is French for tickles, was a professional clown who came in second place in Laurier, Montreal.
That is insane.
Way to go, Quebec. You continue to be the best province. We're glad you didn't leave because we would be so boring without you. Jeff Berner promised, quote, cocaine and whores to potential investors. Brian Godzilla Salmi wore a Godzilla suit while campaigning. Sebastian Corriveau wanted to nationalize Tim Hortons and simultaneously privatize the Canadian military. He said, quote, "We'll look at the results after 5 years, after 10 years, after 50 years. And with the results of these studies, we'll be able to determine if other economic sectors should be nationalized or privatized." Ben 97 wanted to move the capital from Ottawa, Quebec to Kapuskasing, Ontario. He believed that this would bring democracy closer to Canadians as Kapuskasing is in the center of the country. Ottawa's fairly central though, like,
So, well, if you include Newfoundland as its farther
yes.
point, right? And Newfoundland's almost at Ireland. So you're
It's
like,
so far away.
it is. It's so
So
far away.
far away. Our country's so big, guys. So big. Unfortunately, in 1993, new rules required that a party have candidates in at least 50 of the, I believe, 339 ridings
Boo.
to be considered an officially registered federal party. Additionally, each candidate would have to pay a $1,000 registration fee, which translates to about $2,200 in today's money. And I should point out, a lot of Rhino candidates were like comedians and college students and people who didn't have $1,000.
Yeah.
So the Rhinos abstained from the 93 election because they thought these rules were unconstitutional, which, you know what? They were unconstitutional.
Yeah.
You should be allowed to run as a candidate even if your ideas are dumb. The Receiver General was determined that because they hadn't run, they had to return any federal revenues. Charlie Mackenzie was in charge of the Rhino Party's revenues at the time and refused to comply and became Canada's least wanted fugitive. Over a decade later, Brian Godzilla Salmi sued the federal government over the election rules that had forced the party to disband. He had legally changed his name to S.A. Tan, so the lawsuit would read, Satan versus Her Majesty the Queen. Although, honestly, Godzilla versus the Queen would have also been equally as good.
Yeah, name change was unnecessary.
But, well, no, his legal name was not Godzilla, though. It
no,
would have
I
been
know that. It would
Brian
have been,
Salmi.
yeah, right.
But going to the... I've changed my name legally. It's a pain in the butt. Changing your name for a joke is incredible.
Well, But on a national scale,
Yeah.
that'd be all right.
The lawsuit was dropped after the chief electoral officer reversed the law, saying that a party only had to run one candidate in a federal election to be considered registered. Which I would like to say, way to go, Rhino Party. You actually did something good for democracy. And thank you. You've done more than the People's Party of Canada.
They'll probably take it back.
After this decision, the Neo-Rhino Party was formed, named in honor of the Rhinoceros Party and the Matrix franchise. They ran candidates in the 2008 election, and then changed their name back to the Rhinoceros Party in 2010. They have run candidates in every election since, with 43 candidates in the most recent 2019 election.
That's impressive.
They've still not had anybody elected, which is a tragedy.
Well, it's a tragedy, but it's also perfectly understandable because you know if they were elected, they'd probably just not serve their...
I mean, probably not, but I do think, like, I do believe you should vote for the candidate you think is the best candidate for the job, not vote for a joke. But I do think it would be the best way to, for a bunch of jokers, the best way to play a joke on them would be to actually elect them.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be awesome.
During the 2019 federal election, the Rhinos said that the environment was their #1 priority. They also said that healthcare was their #1 priority. And the economy, justice, Canadian heritage, education, international relations, national defense, employment, and public security.
Yeah. Everything's important.
It is. It is. I have a more personal Rhino story. In the early 80s, my father rented a house with 4 other guys. They were all in their early 20s, and as many young men do, they like to play pranks. During an election, they noticed that their neighborhood was completely devoid of campaign signs. So they decided to change that. They ordered campaign signs from all 8 parties in their riding, including the Rhinos. I'm told that the man that answered the phone for the Rhino Party phone number was confused and surprised. He'd not been called before. They asked him for a sign and he was unprepared. But to his credit, a few days later, a sign showed up on their doorstep made of purple construction paper, which had Rhino Party written with Sharpie on it. And they put it up with all their other signs.
I love it.
It was very good.
A Sharpie sign.
I know. Unfortunately, I have bad news for you, because I'm sure you've all fallen in love with the Rhinos and think, why are they not in charge of the country?
Yeah.
They have declared that if they ever win an election, they would immediately dissolve Parliament and force a new election as, quote, "We Rhinos think that elections are so much fun, we want to hold them all the time."
They will never stand up
No.
in office.
No,
Yeah.
which is so sad. But maybe we should have like a real parliament and a fun parliament.
I think a kangaroo parliament would be awesome.
We can have real kangaroos in it.
Yes, that's a must.
Yes, at least one.
Every MP must be accompanied by a real live kangaroo.
Or equally fun animal. We'll
Yes.
accept others as long as they're fun.
You have to declare beforehand, though, your animal, so it can be evaluated for its funness.
Yes, funness, and so they can like figure out like you can't have like the kangaroo next to something that would eat the kangaroo. Like you
That's
gotta kind
right.
of space it out.
No predators.
Yeah.
Anti-predator.
I mean, kangaroos are
laws.
pretty mean.
They are freaking
Moose.
nasty.
You couldn't have moose because they will eat hikers. I stand behind this. Moose will eat hikers.
Oh yeah,
They're scary.
it's terrifying.
At this point, I have a bowl, and we're gonna fetch our drunk Ben, and we're going to draw out of a hat, or a bowl actually, promises the Rhino Party has made over the years.
So what you're going to hear now has been pre-taped.
Yes, technically. We had to re-record this. I'm pretending it's recorded before, but honestly we recorded it afterwards because Ben interrupted so much that it's unusable.
We couldn't even...
It's my own fault. I said, Ben, I would like you and Todd to be slightly tipsy and giggly when we record this, forgetting that when Ben gets tipsy, he gets
Loud.
so loud.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't stop talking.
And this is early evening as we're recording this, and
Which for Ben is morning.
it's morning.
Because he works nights.
So he's drinking in the morning.
Yep. Like all good champions.
It's a breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of champions.
Rum and Coke.
Yep.
Yeah, this is.
It's got caffeine in it. It's basically coffee. It's brown. You know, it's pretty much coffee.
So what follows is the result of our social experiment.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from the Canuckonomicon. Here she goes.
Now,
My wife has a mysterious mixing bowl full of paper here.
yes.
So,
That's
Some Foley work.
beautiful Foley work. Some we'll definitely tap into the ASMR market with
that
that.
also, if you do it again, that's what it sounds like when Gwyneth Paltrow is digging into her bag of flies, munching away at them.
So, this mysterious
Goddamn.
mixing bowl contains a number, many promises the rhinos have made over the years.
Riley wants out.
Oh, my puppy wants.
Yeah, little Riley Bone, she can go outside.
brother
wants
outside.
This,
He doesn't like loud noises, and so Ben is making him very angry.
It's
Brother Ben is making this pup away.
Up.
Up.
Ben can't figure out how to open a door. We might be sleeping on the couch
to
tonight.
be fair, who expects a door handle to have to go up?
Midvale School for the Gifted.
Anyway, I have a mixing bowl. It is full of pieces of paper. On these pieces of paper are campaign promises that the rhinos have made. And now you will finally understand why Ben has been so obnoxious. I wanted Ben and Todd to be tipsy so that they could read these promises, having never seen them before. So who wants to start?
Well, I'm 2 rums from tipsy, but I'll start. All right. Capture all the hot air produced in Ottawa and use it to make the climate more temperate. I love it. It is. Well, and not a bad idea. Because they're always talking about carbon capture.
That's true.
We do need to do something with all that hot
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
There's
And,
so much of it.
and you know, I mean, what better way to...
We could turn Air Canada into blimps and power them.
Oh yeah, there you go. Have a nice cruise blimp over the Atlantic.
Welcome to your 3-day flight across the ocean. We'll be cruising at an altitude of 150 feet. You'll notice the absolute volatility of our balloon today, brought to you by the Government of Canada. Enjoy your flight.
All right, Fen, now it's your turn.
So my wife has been bothering me about my tipsiness factor, even though she requested it.
Now
I
there's...
requested tipsy, not obnoxious.
I'm technically tipsy.
underestimated the amount of alcohol that it takes for under whatever it is that makes makes it a bad decision to put alcohol in front of Benjamin.
It's true, I did. To be fair, I don't drink. I don't know anything about alcohol. What can I say?
There's the problem is that I was expecting there to be beer here, and there was only rum. And the problem is I have a harder time with rum.
Oh yeah.
Because he drinks the same volume.
Yes.
This is the problem.
Ben doesn't understand concentration.
I've had a pint and a half rum. Make quarters be worth 35 cents each, increasing taxpayers' income by 16%.
That's not bad. If you were paid in quarters. Everybody would demand that they were
They
paid
paid in quarters, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's the main reason why they can't keep that promise, which keeps their only promise.
Should I draw, or do you guys just want to draw?
Oh, you do what you like.
All right, I'm going to draw. Pave the Bay of Fundy and turn it into a parking lot.
What an idea.
Well, it would
Once
give me
a day,
Twice a day.
twice a day,
yeah,
The
because
tide
you'd
you'll
have to
be
get
able
their.
to use it.
Oh yeah, no, once
Yeah.
a day. You're right, but for those of you who don't know, the Bay of Fundy has the most dramatic tidal change of any place in the world, and it comes in fast. Like I've been there as a tourist, They have people whose full-time job is to yell at you to get off the beach because the tide is coming in and you will die.
Yeah.
You have to go down like multiple flights of stairs. It's ridiculous. But it would be a very good parking lot.
It would, yeah.
It'd be excellent.
Just like the Anthony Henday.
Could you imagine me going up those stairs?
No, you would cry and complain the whole time.
I'd be so winded and like whiny.
You'd probably die on like the third flight. Your heart would explode.
I mean, if you just stayed at the bottom and waited for the water to come in, maybe you could like float to the top.
And then you'd roll down the stairs, gathering momentum as you go.
Ah,
It'd be like that guy, what's his name, Juggernaut?
that's
From
right.
the X-Men?
From the X-Men.
Just like people flying
He was in the
everywhere.
Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Ah. There
No,
we
it's
go.
your dad's turn.
Oh, it's my Pappy's
It's my turn, yes.
Hey, Pappy, have fun.
Thanks. I'm going to do this one here. Looks very interesting. I can't see
Yeah,
it.
they're very hard to get, to pull out.
Ban guns and butter, as both can kill.
All right, Ben, here you go.
Banning
That's
butter.
making me giggle because butter was one of the main reasons why we had the Reformation.
It is true, Ben. It is true, but we're not going to talk about that right
Oh,
now. Please
okay.
draw something and talk
Hey,
about that.
who was it that covered that?
I don't remember. It's
Oh,
fine.
with some other podcast covered why butter caused the Reformation. I'm gonna read this though because my wife's getting really angry at me.
He is
I don't-
so busted.
I don't like being around drunk people. I have made a terrible mistake.
I was gonna say nobody has anyone to blame for this but
I know.
you. Put the national debt on Visa.
Why not? I say. But make sure you got that coverage. You know, you can pay for that insurance on the Visa card.
Yeah, right.
If
You
you
get some
lose your
points,
job
too.
or whatever, then you
Yeah.
can just say, "I'm sorry, all Canadians are out of work."
Yep. And you got to make sure you collect points of some sort, like air miles or something. as
Scene
well.
points so they can watch just like all the movies.
How could we take a Visa out in Donald Trump's name and then put the national
I
debt on
mean,
it?
how many times has he declared bankruptcy?
I'm just very rich.
Todd's doing funny hand movements. It's very good.
Brr, 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 brr.
Lotteries will no longer have cash prizes. Instead, winners will be appointed to the Senate.
Ouch.
Whoo!
That's a life appointment.
It is.
Oh, that's a
Ew.
life sentence.
Oh, but you get paid real well.
That's because there's a life sentence of rubber stamping.
And remember, Mike Duffy taught us you can just scam so much money out of the
Yeah, you
government.
can.
in your
Fuck, I
pockets.
forgot about Mike Duffy.
Yeah, he used to be my favorite political commentator on CTV until he became a senator. Replace asphalt with rubber on urban roads to reduce injuries to cyclists.
You know, it's funny you're laughing about this, but that's actually something people have done is they developed a tire-based rubber with some 16-year-old
I don't
won
know.
a science fair
Yeah,
prize.
he did.
She.
They.
No, I
They.
distinctly remember it was a
It was
lady.
a she.
It was a lady.
I still. Cyclists.
Fuck them. But don't
They need
because
their own political party. Stay out of ours.
abolish lawn mowing in Outremont, Quebec.
I'm not sure why it was specifically just Outremont. I'm guessing that the candidate from Outremont didn't like lawn mowing.
Probably
Well,
kept getting
or,
woken
or
up.
maybe that's all they have is lawn.
That's possible too.
He's just one house and a bunch of lawn.
No, I'm pretty sure it's probably bigger than that. I don't know.
Privatize the Queen.
Ouch.
Oh, that's actually a super good idea because of how much influence the Queen has. And given that we live in a corporate dictatorship, obviously we should privatize the Queen. This is just a fact. People, wake up from your slumber.
Monetize the queen. If you privatize it,
I mean,
then you monetize her.
Todd, she is monetized. She's on all our money.
Okay, but then and when she's privatized, that means we all own her.
Oh!
We all get
Queens are-
dividends.
the
We put
queen's
our
our
own money.
slave. All right. I just thought it. Abolish the environment because it takes up a lot of space and is hard to keep clean. I heretofore abolish the environment on the ground.
My wife just shoved one in my face.
Well,
which
they're having a hard time picking them up, so I'm picking them up.
which I promptly dropped. Which I'm sure is just
prestidigitation.
which I'm sure is just making my wife totally thrilled right now.
Oh, it's great.
She's
It's
just loving
tremendous.
me. She loves the way I smell right now.
When he's probably when we
I
take a
think,
break after this round, we'll take a break and get Ben some water,
Yeah.
so he'll only be
Gatorade.
tipsy instead of
Yeah.
loud drunk.
In an effort to increase carpooling, brake pedals will be moved. Will be moved. Okay.
All right.
No, let me do
Yes,
it.
The whole point of the exercise
Oh,
was that the
let me
drunk
do it.
man had to
Let me do it. Okay,
Clap.
I now let him read through it once. I'll be able to
take
do
a
it.
deep
this
breath
time.
first, and then you.
Okay. In an effort to increase carpooling, brake pedals will be moved to the passenger side. See, I can do it. Aren't you glad I have to drive you home?
You're in
Oh, I know. We're gonna be sleeping on the couch.
You're going to be here till 3 a.m.
End crime by abolishing laws.
That would end crime.
I mean, we have ended marijuana crime in
That's
Canada.
right. And that's probably what, about 30% of.
Oh, it's a lot.
Canadian
I mean,
crime.
they stopped enforcing
Although-
a lot of it a long time ago.
Even with abolishing the whole marijuana thing, the number of illegal marijuana operations now seems that the stashes they're taking in seem to be
Yeah,
astronomical.
that's true.
Well, because now they can say you're illegal.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have shops that sell that shit.
They look like the Apple Store.
Move the Queen Elizabeth II to Buckingham. It says move Queen Elizabeth II to Buckingham, Quebec. Oh, I get it. Oh, yeah. I didn't know there was. one.
Also, I just think moving the Queen to Quebec specifically would be real fun.
Yeah, ouch.
It would go. It would go great.
Especially since Buckingham, Quebec is probably in the ass end of nowhere.
Most
Yeah.
of Quebec is the accent.
I
of
can see
nowhere.
my dad staring at the screen like, okay, Ben's loud, but is he loud enough?
Ben, you are loud enough.
I'm
I
sure I'm
guarantee it.
loud.
We have. Here's the thing. Ben and I might record in the same room, the same distance from the microphones, and Ben's voice is consistently like mega decibels higher than mine.
He's so loud.
He is a very loud boy,
He's so loud.
but he's got a jolly laugh. And
Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh!
no, that's not that one. It's the one that I can. That one, right there. Look at
Yeah.
it.
My wife just shoved another
Yeah,
political platform into my face.
Breathe, then. Read.
Whew. Tear down the Rocky Mountains so Alberta can see the Pacific Ocean.
I like that one.
There's one that I forgot to write down, but is a promise they had to make really tall hills in British Columbia and the Maritimes so that you could coast from coast to coast. And on that note, I think Todd wanted to take a break. So we're going to try to
Oh, it's my turn. Aw.
The microphone is
Viagra.
flaccid.
Okay, there we go. All right, we're back, and here's my Here's my Rhino platform. What do you want to call this?
I don't know.
It was platform. What do they call them when they're platform?
Promises?
Promise. Here we are. Store nuclear wastes in the Senate. After all, we've been storing political waste there for years.
Not untrue.
It's absolutely totally true.
So, for our American listeners, we don't vote for our Senate. It's just appointed.
The prime minister nominates them, and they're there until they die.
That's right.
And also, our prime minister is technically not elected.
No.
The party is elected, and the leader of that party becomes the de facto prime minister.
But the prime minister has to win his seat.
Yes.
Well, if they
So
don't,
he's
then
just an
usually they
MP.
just get like somebody else's seat. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's true.
Okay. Boost the economy by moving from the gold standard to the snow standard.
I like it.
True until global warming takes all our snow away.
Or
We still
even
have
just
snow,
until
it just
summer.
won't stay. So you have to have vast storehouses
Of snow.
cooled. Yeah.
I have a quiz, pop quiz. How do you think the rhinos were going to promote higher education?
Weed.
No.
They would build schools up on top of mountains.
You're not far off, Todd. Build taller schools.
Ah, that does encourage higher education. Not the kind of high I was thinking of.
No,
No.
but I just got the joke.
Oh, here's mine. Send archaeologists to see if there are any roads underneath Montreal's potholes. I love me a good.
That has to have been the
infrastructure.
Montreal representative.
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Oh,
There's a lot of Rhino Party from Quebec. Like the
That's where it
Quebec, the
originated,
Quebecers
yeah.
just they love to make fun of everything. It's great.
so I have your favorite policy here. And I know it's your favorite because every time you talk about the Rhino Party, you talk about how they want to repeal the law of gravity.
It's so good. It's so simple. It's so good.
I don't know how you do it south of the 49th, but in our country, we don't have a law of gravity.
We have a
'Cause we're not run
strong
by fascists.
we have a strong suggestion of
Yeah, that's right.
gravity.
It's still a theory.
The rhinos would encourage fitness by requiring members of parliament to cross the floor daily.
I like it.
Crossing the floor, for those of you who are not Canadian or those Canadians who don't listen in social studies, is the term when you change parties.
Yeah. And they don't, but they should play like the heel and toe polka or something like that so that there's music going on when people are crossing the floor.
Or they should play musical chairs in parliament. I like this. Oh, now we need to become like the Rhino Party because playing musical chairs in parliament is a good idea.
You
I
guys
really
stopped
think
my
so.
jam and now I'm upset.
All right. Speed limits will be eliminated during storms so that drivers spend less time on the road.
Flawless logic.
Absolutely.
Do they have to vet their platform policies before they announce them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If this was the Canadian Extreme Wrestling Party, which was a real party that never actually got officially recognized by Parliament, unfortunately.
Well, no, because they didn't register.
Well, that's true. They didn't register with Elections Canada. Then yes, they would. In the squared circle. Ban crappy Canadian winters.
Oh, I agree.
What's a non-crappy Canadian winter?
One where we're having one this year where it's just sort of a little bit cold. You get a little bit of snow.
We've had a lot of really
And then
nice
it warms
fluffy
up.
snow. It's been
Yeah,
really pretty.
it's been a
I
pleasant
guess
winter.
it's not that sharp, nasty snow that you get when it's like real cold
Yeah.
out.
It's not that cold that hurts just to breathe it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Convert Montreal's Rue Sainte-Catherine into the longest bowling alley in the world.
That would be awesome.
It would
Even
be
one day a year.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
Bowling
good.
day.
And you could, you know, like those giant inflatable balls that you put people inside, like the Zorb balls. I
Yeah.
think that would be the bowling balls.
The bubble balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
You
what?
put, the
Montreal.
Prime Minister has to go inside
Yes.
it.
Montreal, take this idea. You don't even have to pay me for it.
Yeah, you can have it.
Or any city, really, honestly.
Yeah.
Rename black ice neon yellow ice.
Does that even work?
No, because you can't see it.
Well, no, if it's neon yellow, then it's more visible, so
Yeah.
you'd see it.
If you rename it. It makes perfect sense.
Bribe the Weather Network to predict more sunshine on weekends and less snow in the winter.
They already do that? It's ridiculous.
Really?
How inaccurate
I don't watch
their
the Weather
forecasts are in the winter.
I get my weather directly from Environment Canada.
I've been getting my weather mostly from Pokemon Go. And I can tell you that it is not accurate and I am upset about it. Do you know how many snowy days where I could have caught steel Pokemon have not actually had any snowy days on my Pokemon Go? Very upsetting.
Ben has taken up Pokemon Go recently and makes our elderly dog go with him, and our elderly dog is very tired now.
Oh, I'm going to have to get him a little knapsack.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He loves it. He rolls every time I stop at the
He rolls in the
gym.
snow.
He loves it. He stops there, he rolls around. It's great.
Another promise. This was
He's rolling in the poop of other Pokemon.
that is true.
Because he's about the size of a Pokemon.
Absolutely.
He is. Make Great Britain Canada's 11th province.
I think that would be a bad idea.
I think it's
that
a
would
better.
be almost as bad an idea as making Newfoundland a province in the first place.
This promise was before Brexit and Boris Johnson became.
I was gonna say, I think it's a better idea than Brexit was.
Here's the thing.
Everything's a better
idea than electing a prime minister named Boris.
when you're in England. How do you get named Boris in England?
If he's not a communist, I'll eat my shorts.
Hold on there, your son's probably something like a
No,
communist.
you are not. You're a libertarian socialist.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, whatever that is. Count the 1,000 islands in the St. Lawrence River to make sure the Americans haven't stolen any.
I'll get some grad student to do
Because
it.
they would try.
Oh,
You know
definitely.
They would.
Guaranteed.
They still want to make dressing.
Yeah.
But go over to the drum set.
No, I don't know how to do it on the drums.
Men would be allowed to work as prostitutes and wet nurses.
I should point out this was in
Oh.
1979.
1979. Could you, man,
No,
working
I'm
in
just throwing up in my mouth a bit.
About
That's
the
gross.
prostitutes or the wet nurses?
The wet nurse. I can't even. I
The
can't
hairy
even.
nipples.
My imagination comes to a line and then stops. I,
Like,
I
no
just
more.
won't see past that
That's a good thing. It's a
Which is
good thing
hideous.
to have that protection.
because I have a nice pair. So
Oh,
I'd be forced into servitude. I'd be like, no.
they said allowed, not forced.
I shave my man nipples.
It would
so-
be like that episode of Family Guy where the female wrestler is got Peter in a headlock and she's milking him
I haven't seen that.
because she wants to make the lowest fighter.
I remember
Can't
that.
say I've seen that one.
Oh, it's humiliating, but very funny. Force car manufacturers to build more green cars. Forest green, pale green, khaki green, and neon green.
I do like cars that are colored shades of green.
We had one.
Yeah, we did.
You had one in
I had one. It was the Focus.
They got run over by a
And
truck.
your Explorer was green too.
It's
Yes.
true. Every car I've crashed has been colored green,
Yeah, that's why.
except for the
There's
one that
silver
was
ones.
black. Annex Massachusetts so we can have a champion sports team again.
I don't remember.
Boston.
Yeah, I don't remember which year this was.
Yeah, it would have been the Bruins.
But probably, yeah, because
Weren't the Bruins coached by
Don Cherry.
Don Cherry, who has now turned out to be a white nationalist?
okay, we've known he's a bag of poop for years.
He's 86 years old. he has opinions from the 60s.
Yep.
That is
And
true.
they have not changed. And so, you know,
He's been.
leave him alone.
Yeah.
He's poor
No,
Don
he's.
Cherry.
I don't like him. I've never liked him.
He's an old guy.
Reduce workplace accidents by wrapping factory workers in bubble wrap.
I've heard that one before. That
It's
is
a
the
good
only
idea.
platform
But
I've heard.
what will
about-
happen to the factory workers in the bubble wrap factories?
They'd have to be wrapped in bubble wrap.
They'd be wrapped in
Double
double bubble. Bubble gum.
All right. This is a really good one. And I think seriously someone should do a private members bill. Make sorry the official motto. We apologize for apologizing.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Or car.
Allow advertising in the Senate and the House of Commons.
I would love that so much because
Yeah.
like during hockey games you'll see like Cialis on the side and
Yeah.
and just like Cialis on the desk of some really like old as dust senator would be so good.
I just also want to say that, like, don't we already live in that world, only it's less transparent?
Yeah.
Well, somebody
Just
told
make
me,
it obvious.
somebody told me I was watching a hockey game with someone the other day on TV, and they said that intact at the end zone, like
Yeah.
behind the goaltender thing. That's
That's an insurance company.
yes, but that's not there if you attend a live game.
What?
Yes.
Wow. I don't watch hockey. I don't know these things. Wow. That's incredible.
It's not there. Like, so someone has paid to have that put on for just the televised
That's
audience.
That's
Incredible.
fantastic.
So anyway,
Eliminate small businesses and replace them with very small businesses that have less than one employee each. Actually, this one's long. I'll read it.
would you have to employ diminutive people?
Potentially, but you
Little people.
jobs for the disabled is important.
Okay. But I don't consider diminutive people disabled.
Legally,
I know they are
often
legally, but you know, you talk to any dwarf and
Yeah, no, they're
he'll bite your chin if you call him disabled.
You know my pain now, Laura.
Oh no, Todd can't get it out.
Little people make me laugh. I find them hideous.
Todd!
I was gonna say, you know my pain now.
Not in
I have to deal.
person.
I have to deal with this old man.
I'm disabled.
I was gonna.
Diminutive people, they said, not disabled people.
I was gonna. I have to deal with my dad's old man boomer brain.
He's not even a boomer. That's so much more.
I'm a post-boomer. I'm a totally nice guy if you meet me in person. Keep foreign funds in Canada by opening tax havens in all provinces. Yeah, we don't even have those in Canada.
No.
When they are, they're shills.
That's right.
They're usually corrupt.
Yep.
Yep. Oh no.
Redraw maps so that all provinces look like Saskatchewan.
Because it's easy.
You know, our ridiculous coastline, biggest coastline in the world. It'll be great. It'll be
Yeah.
fine. No problems. All those islands in Nunavut.
I'm trying to picture Baffin Island, fucking shaped like Saskatchewan.
They're just gonna like cut the sides off.
They have to pay some guy to go do it.
It's just
We'll
shaped
create
like-
jobs. There's an issue with not enough jobs being hired.
Just
Instead
a
of
bunch
clubbing
of guys
seals,
with. I was gonna say just a bunch of guys with like,
pickaxes.
not even pickaxes. I'm picturing just with those like little angle grinders
Oh yeah.
going along each of the
New blade.
provinces.
New blade.
The Rhino Party wanted to declare war on Belgium. in retaliation for Belgian cartoon character Tintin killing a rhinoceros in a cartoon. They were, however, very gracious, willing to call off the war if Belgium delivered a case of mussels and a case of Belgian beer to Rhino hindquarters in Montreal.
Just drinking a bunch of.
And I want you to know the best part about this. Apparently, the Belgian embassy did this.
Send them a bunch of Stella.
Stella and mussels.
I love that.
The hindquarters, yeah. It's very good. It's very good.
Tax the black market.
Hey, isn't that basically what we did when we legalized weed?
Yep.
Yep.
It's working. We've brought in a lot of money.
Avoid oil spills by transporting oil and gas in blimps instead of ships.
Yeah, because a blimp is so much safer.
Pappy's eyes just lit up when he thought about that. He's like, oh, genius! My centrist brain is telling me that this is a good plan.
Remember when we were talking about using the hot air from Ottawa to make blimps?
Yeah.
Hot air from Ottawa to make
Blimps, which
blimps
have
to
an oil
transport
tanker
the
underneath
oil. This is a good idea.
The size of blimp you'd need, though, would be prohibitive.
And on the topic of oil, fight global warming by requiring citizens to run their AC at full capacity with all their windows and doors open.
Oh my god. Okay, I used to work with a guy who would leave the windows open in the guard shack while he was running the AC, and every time I came to work, there was just like water pouring off the AC because he had the windows open.
Of course he
Like,
did.
what are you
To let it breeze
doing?
in.
They hire the best and brightest to be
They
security
do.
guards.
It's
do.
absolutely. My dad can attest to that. He's probably done more rigorous training for security than I have.
I have. It's okay. Make illiteracy the third official language. It already is. So it's the third unofficial language, so we really should
Yeah, just
adopt
make it
it.
official.
Yep.
But, and I don't know what it would look like, but because English and French are the official languages, you could get all government forms in either language. What would the illiterate ones look like?
Cave drawings.
We
Just a
see
lasmatherium like running towards something to indicate voting.
If the police report, what did you see? If you seen something happen, report it.
Okay, so this one, I'm not entirely sure it hasn't already happened. Privatize the Senate.
Yeah, it's already happened.
Yes.
It's already appointed. How much more private do you need it to be?
Privatized and monetized.
Oh, here's a good one. You'll enjoy this one, Todd. In the interests of equality, the War Measures Act will be applied to the 9 provinces that didn't get the privilege in 1970.
That didn't stop British Columbia in 1970.
That's true.
Eliminate waiting rooms to reduce hospital wait times. Brilliant.
It's so good.
Clearly, this will work.
I feel like Jason Kenney's gonna try that.
These are forward thinkers.
Make the Trans-Canada Highway one way only. Which way?
Up.
Still. Force everybody towards the Northwest Territories.
Yeah, that's right. Go north, young
North.
man.
To deal with doctor and nurse shortages, medical staff will be given performance-enhancing drugs.
Why not? The entire Nazi army was.
Yes, sure, and so much meth.
Yeah.
So
much
meth.
meth.
It had a brand name, like it was.
Yeah, I forget the name, but yeah, they had a brand.
But I mean, the entire Blitzkrieg was successful because those guys were stoned out of their minds, and they just didn't want to stop.
Well, you never do with
In
meth.
fact, Hitler ordered the army to stop, but they couldn't.
Meth is famously very easy
Meth
to
is a
stop
hell of a
anytime.
drug.
Don't do meth, kids.
Don't do meth, kids.
Ben, say it.
Don't do the meth.
Okay, that's an official statement
That is.
from the Canuckonomicon.
That's right. 'Cause the progenitor of the podcast.
I don't know why I'm in charge. It's very
Well,
stressful.
no, it's that we can all say it.
It is
Oh,
yours.
okay.
The magnetic North Pole has moved to Russia. The rhinos will bring it back to Canada.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
Yep, it moves sometimes.
Give a free rhinoceros to every inspiring Canadian artist.
Aspiring.
That's what I said.
But still, give a rhino to all aspiring artists. Could I get a rhino, Ben?
You could, and so could my dad.
I don't want one.
I'm not an artist. I'm just a guy.
I want a pygmy rhino. Sorry, Ben.
Usually, you want a Sumatran rhino.
Yeah, they cute.
How much are their horn school for?
A lot.
Black market.
I want an
I want
elasmotherium.
10.
I wanted an
10.
elasmotherium to ride
But
around.
I promise you, we will use every part of the rhino.
Todd, do you require that? Do you know what they use though? The rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that.
No, I'm just saying. I saw it to Chinese people.
Yeah, fair enough.
They apparently
this
need
one's mine.
everything.
This one's mine. Nationalize bacon.
I'm down for it.
It's funny because the stuff they call Canadian bacon, Canadians don't eat.
It's true.
It's ham
It's just ham.
with like cornmeal around it.
Yeah.
I was reading some article about Canadian stuff, and they said Canadian bacon was bacon with maple syrup on it.
What?
I know, and I'm like, that's not
that's a
Canadian bacon.
declaration.
You know where they got
War.
the idea? Because we have the maple smoked Canadian bacon.
But that's with maple wood, not maple syrup.
Yeah, well, consider the source.
This person was dumb. I was just saying
There's a lot of
that.
dumb
That's
people
not
on the
Canadian
planet.
bacon.
There are a lot of dumb people, and when
Listen.
I say there's a lot of ugly people.
Oh.
If you are sitting at a traffic light, you look to your right and you see an ugly person, you look to your left and see a handsome person, guess what you are?
Average.
Ugly.
Ah.
Because
What-
I think like at least 60% of people are ugly. So if you're looking around,
So
and-
here we are dealing with my dad's old man brain again.
I've had that view since I was 12.
Yeah.
Canadian
Yet you still moved to
children's
Stony Plain.
names must now have at least 12 letters, including a capital letter, a number, and a special character.
And periodically the government will like make you change it for security
That's
reasons.
right, every 3 months.
Here we go. Clever one. Take advantage of global warming and start farming in the territories.
That
Awesome.
is a good idea.
In the interest of time, because we're now at the
Almost
over
done.
an hour mark, and we only have like,
We're almost done.
yeah.
And you'll
okay.
cut a bunch of Ben's bologna out. So
Oh yeah, Ben's bologna's going.
You'll like this
He
one.
says that now, and when I listen to this, it'll be 2 hours long and mostly me, like, shit talking.
I'll cut out all of our cogent commentary. I'll just say Ben blathering.
I like that idea. Build one nuclear plant per household. But it's okay, they'll distribute lead underwear to all Canadians. And indoor lighting would be provided by radioactive citizens.
I am
Yes.
down for this. Let's do it. Let's do it now.
Ben's all over that.
Ben
All
loves nuclear.
over that.
Ben loves nuclear.
I do.
Change Canada's currency to bubblegum, allowing it to be inflated to deflated as needed.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
We can use balloons too. Or blimps.
Mm-hmm.
Blimps.
So, just proof that even the Rhino Party has been corrupted by capitalist influence. Amend the Freedom of Information Act because nothing is free anymore. Canadians should have to pay for their information.
Like everybody else.
That's right.
Here's a $5. Keep it between us.
This is one of my favorite platforms they have. Adopt the British style of driving on the left, but this would be done gradually over the course of 5 years. It would start with large trucks and tractors first, then buses, and eventually small cars. Bicycles and wheelchairs would be last.
Pappy O'Toole
Todd's
dying.
gonna die.
You thought I've been giggly and like
No, that's
drunk off my ass this whole time.
I'm
Pappy
good.
over here is like red
He's
in the
just
face.
giggly.
His face is like beet red. He is doubled over laughing, and I think he might pee blood later tonight.
That's something totally different, Ben. Maybe we need to have a chat later. Annex the United States to eliminate foreign control of Canada's natural resources. I love it. What would they do?
That's true.
You know, they're really, really great people.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. Just tremendous. Just the best I've ever known.
Their gloves are really big that'll fit my hands.
I can put four
My
hands.
above average hands.
My slightly smaller than large hands is what he actually, honest to goodness, said.
I wear big suits.
Build a bridge from Vancouver Island to Newfoundland.
Why not?
I feel this when I'm trying to explain Canadian geography to Americans. They
This,
just don't understand that it's a whole country.
it's so big. That is
It's
from one
so
end to
big.
the other. I drove from Edmonton to Toronto as a child, and it took 5 days. It's
like-
so big, and that's not even the whole country.
For American listeners, that's like trying to drive from California to Maryland
And then back.
and then back. For our European listeners, that's like trying to drive from France to Germany.
No. No,
France
it's not.
to Russia.
Oh,
Yeah.
like halfway through Russia.
Yeah, halfway through Russia and then back. That's a long
And
way.
France and Germany are literally next
Side
door.
by
I
side.
guess they would have to be because of the whole invasion and Vichy France. And
Yeah.
guys, I'm real bad at geography. Why do I host a history
It's
podcast?
really quite interesting. Your mother's bad at history and geography.
I'm only bad at geography. I'm pretty good at history.
You're just bad at numbers.
I am. It's true. I'm
And he makes up
terrible.
words.
I do
Oh
make
my
up.
gosh. And he says it. with
I'm an
confidence.
English major. I'm allowed to make up words. They give you a license for that after you graduate.
Take Canada off the gold standard and implement a snow standard. This would improve the economy at least until summer.
Is that like the cold standard?
Yeah.
So they implemented that policy twice.
Yeah. Cold
These are
standards
not.
or snow standards.
These people do not care for your rules or expectations, man.
No. So what if we had a rule like, or a platform like that before? Make Montreal the Venice of North America by damming the St. Lawrence River.
It is the most effective way to deal with Quebec separatism.
It really is. You make it big and
Just get rid of Montreal. They'll be happy.
Leg Quebec.
Quebec, Montreal's not super separatist, though. They're like. The
Yeah, I
most-
know, but that would make the rest of Quebec feel like, okay, all the Anglos are out of our province.
That is true.
Yeah.
Eliminate unemployment by abolishing Statistics Canada, thereby eliminating the bureaucrats that measure unemployment.
Ah, there you go.
Nice. We're getting down. to
Just
the last
live in
one
the-
here,
These are the
folks.
last two.
Live in the worst timeline.
Okay, I'm only the producer, so I'll do the second last. Sell the Senate at an antique auction.
Has that not already happened?
No, they tried. Nobody went.
Yeah.
Nobody wants them.
Okay, here's another one that I'm not entirely sure isn't already a fact. Ambassadorships will be sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure that's not already the case.
Well, and you know, in this world of taxing everything, why wouldn't you just sell stuff outright?
That's true.
We're going to sell a couple senators today. Going to the highest bidder, they will be your houseboy or girl
Yeah.
or person.
Pretty a
or,
person.
Can
Dog.
you say person if there's?
Yeah, person's good.
Are they person?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if senators are actually human, so I don't know if we can call them.
I'm pretty sure they're
Well-
growing in vats.
But the lizard people, are they persons?
That depends on your definition of person.
Well-
Human, clearly, but person.
They're a hive mind. Like Gwyneth Paltrow tapping into the hive mind at the worst possible times.
That's true.
You don't hear much from Gwyneth, though. She's really gone dark.
Oh no, recently she had a commercial for her lifestyle brand Goop that included a personal massager.
Oh!
Oh, really?
Just as a regular commercial.
Okay, Gwyneth.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing
And on
Gwyneth
that
is doing, I
note-
guess.
On
Vote
that
for
note,
the Rhino Party. They're
it is
cool.
now close to Christmas Eve.
Yes.
2 days.
Go to sleep so Santa can come.
When will this episode be out?
I'll have it ready by Monday evening. So
it'll
Put
be
it on
out
for
early.
Christmas.
It'll
you
be
can
out
have it
early.
out Christmas Eve.
That's
It'll
what
be
I
out
wanted,
Christmas
yeah.
Eve.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting up with my horse shit. My wife has not. She is very
Oh,
angry,
she's been
and
very tolerant.
I'm gonna be getting a serious talking to on
No,
the
I
drive
already
home.
gave you the talking to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Make sure to check us out at Canuckonomicon, where I am often posting from work, because what else am I going to do while I'm there? And, yeah, follow our new music fellow,
John Misfortune Dixon.
John Misfortune
Yes.
Dixon. Was he John Dixon, at John Dixon on Twitter?
Well, it's is it John Dixon?
Uh,
I don't know.
I know, Ben, why don't you tweet the name out or something?
I'll tweet the name out.
Yeah, well-
I follow him. You can probably, I follow a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'll tweet his name out. If you're feeling a little down, if you're feeling a little forgotten, just remember that somebody's out there that will listen to you. The Canadian Crisis Line is available to you. My wife's laughing, but she shouldn't be, because this
Oh,
is
you're
serious.
serious? I thought you were joking.
I'm being serious right now.
jeez. I'm
Everybody at
sorry.
Christmas tells you not to commit suicide.
Yeah, well, this actually is the worst time of year
It
for
is.
that.
It
So,
really is.
Yeah, if you're having a hard time, reach out to someone.
so yeah, listen, we're here for you. You can reach out to me. I actually won't backtalk you. Believe it or not, if you tweet at me, I don't backtalk.
Here's the thing.
I'm a very supportive person.
I'm an actual credited counselor. So if you
Amazingly.
if you wanted to talk to somebody, I'd talk to you and listen. I wouldn't even interject with any of my
yeah, he's
you know,
at
negative
S Mooseman.
That's right.
At S Mooseman on Twitter. And we will listen. We'll listen. If nothing else, we'll listen.
And if we can't help you, we'll tell you who to contact.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just want to let you know that we are here for you and you matter. And also, Christmas is awesome. I feel really good right now. I've got enough rum in my system that I feel pretty solid.
And residual THC from the other party.
Well, that was after the party.
The after party THC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
that's
drove
right.
me home.
I had to drive home, so
Oh
I
my.
didn't smoke before I drove because that's dangerous
That's
and
it.
not
That's
not
irresponsible.
recommended.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Be responsible. Don't drink and drive. And
Be responsible. Vote for the Rhinoceros Party. They're the only party that's kept their promises.
Listen, have a Merry Solstice, a Happy Christmas, a
Treason's greeting.
treason's
If you live in the
greeting
United
if you live in the
States.
U.S.
Yeah.
Treason's greetings.
Happy
Merry
Kwanzaa.
Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I don't know what's the Muslim holiday this time of year.
Ramadan.
Ramadan moves around the calendar because
Yeah,
they have a
just-
different calendar than us. It's
Oh.
not Ramadan right
They
now.
just no.
Whatever. Listen, I don't
starving
care what
themselves
you
or
are.
something.
I don't care what you are or who you worship, but just have a happy whatever you're celebrating
some
right
cookies.
now.
Have a
Eat
good
some
time.
cookies. Have some. Eat a goose. Whatever.
God bless and keep
your eyes open. Canuckonomicon is a production of Crossing Clay Studios. We can be found on Twitter at Canuckonomicon, and you can contact us through email at canuckonomicon@gmail.com. Please be sure to share us with your friends and family, and keep your eyes open.